So now we will see pseudo elements in CSS. So guys, basically a CSS pseudo element is used to style specified parts of an element, and this we are going to check with the help of examples as well. So for example, the pseudo elements can be used to style the first letter or the first line of an HTML element, or also it can be used in order to insert the content before or after the content of an element. So guys, some of the examples include, we have something called as first line over here, which is one of the pseudo elements. Now guys, it is very important to note that whenever you are using the pseudo elements in the style.css file, we need to have 2 times colon over here followed by the pseudo element that we are going to use. So guys, let us check this with the help of example in VS Code over here. So simply I am going to remove the previous lines of code that we had written in the HTML and the CSS files over here. Now guys, we are going to have a div tag in this case. So simply we are going to have the div tag and we are going to define some random text over here. So simply we are going to have the lorem emmet abbreviation over here that can help us in order to generate the random text in this case. Now guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have certain random text that is getting generated on the web browser. Now guys, let us say we want this particular first line of this div tag to be colored as red color over here. So how do we do that? So basically we can simply use the pseudo element, that is the first line in this case, inside the CSS file in order to have the text color as red. So guys, let us move to the CSS file over here, and inside the CSS file simply we are going to define the div tag in this case, and then as I have told you, we have to use 2 times colon over here and then followed by the pseudo element, that is first line in this case. So guys, basically we are going to use the first line pseudo element, and then we need to have the open and close curly braces inside which we are going to define the CSS properties. So guys, in this case simply we are going to use the color CSS property, and simply we are going to set the text color as red color over here. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the first line of this particular div tag, which is having 4 lines over here, is now having the text color as red color in this case. Guys, we can have other CSS properties as well being defined over here. So let's say we want the text size to be larger. So in this case simply we are going to use the font size CSS property, and simply we will say large value in this case. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the font size is increased to some extent. Now let us use some other value that is larger in this case, so that we can see the font size of the first line clearly larger compared to the other lines of this particular div tag over here. So guys, let me just reload this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the font size is larger now compared to the font size of the other lines of the same div tag in this case. Now guys, apart from this, we can also use the first letter pseudo element. So let's say instead of having the red color for this first letter, we want this first letter to be displayed in some other color. So guys, what we can do is simply inside the style.css file over here, again we are going to define the div tag, and then after this we are going to provide 2 times colon, and then simply we can say first letter pseudo element. So guys, basically we use the first letter pseudo element in order to define the CSS property for the first letter of this particular HTML element over here. So guys, inside this what we are going to do is, let's say we want a different color. So the color that we are going to use is blue in this case. So guys, we have set the color as blue, and let's say we want the font size to be larger over here. So simply we are going to define the font size as 32 pixels in this case. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the color of the first letter of this particular div tag has been updated to the blue color now, and also the font size of this first letter is 32 pixels in this case, just like how we have defined over here inside the style.css file. So guys, basically this first letter pseudo element can help you in order to provide certain CSS properties to this particular first letter of this HTML element based on your project requirements. Now guys, apart from this, we also have something called as before pseudo element. So guys, let us check this as well. So what we are going to do is, before this div tag, we are going to have a heading over here, which is going to be the h1 heading. So we will say this is heading 1 in this case. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have the heading and it is having its default font size over here. Now guys, let us say we want some icon to be displayed before this particular heading. So what we can do is, simply we can use the before pseudo element in order to display a particular icon or emoji before the HTML element. So guys, let us check that as well, how it can be done. So basically inside the style.css file over here, simply we are going to define the h1 tag in this case, and then followed by 2 times colon, and then we have something called as before. So as you can see, this is the pseudo element that we will be using. And then guys, inside this, what we can do is, simply we are going to have the content CSS property, and we are going to say URL, and inside this URL we are going to provide the name of the emoji that we want to display before the heading. So guys, over here I have downloaded a smiley emoji over here. So we are going to use the same smiley emoji in this case. So basically we are going to provide the name of this PNG file, that is smiley.png. So guys, since we are using the before pseudo element, this smiley emoji will be displayed before the heading over here. So guys, let me just save this file now, that is the style.css file, and let me just reload this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, this is the smiley emoji that is getting displayed just before the heading that we have defined over here. Now guys, in order to display this emoji after the heading over here, that is, this is heading 1. So what we can do is, simply instead of using the before pseudo element, we can use the after pseudo element. So guys, what we can do is, simply inside the style.css file over here, instead of having before, we will have after in this case. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, now the emoji is getting displayed after the heading over here, just by using the after pseudo element in this case. So guys, in this way we can use the different pseudo elements based on our requirements. Now guys, apart from this, we have something called as marker pseudo element as well, which is used in order to define the CSS properties for the unordered list or the ordered list markers, that are the numbers or the bullet points. So guys, this marker pseudo element I'll leave up to you as a homework for you, so that you can practice on your own as far as the list items are concerned. So guys, comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to the channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is opacity or transparency in CSS. So stay tuned.